Welcome to Embrace and Restore, the podcast series dedicated to fostering professional growth, personal reflection, and collaboration among like minded industry experts. I'm your host, Dr. Dianna Davis-Smith, and today we delve into a critical theme at the heart of our podcast: the integration of social emotional learning and restorative practices. That's the heart of our podcast. That is the critical theme that will run throughout every episode of our broadcast: the integration of social emotional learning, SEL, and restorative practices, often referred to as RP. In this episode, we will explore the behavioral, teaching, and learning challenges that arise as class sizes expand beyond recommended limits. A situation that perhaps is exacerbated by teacher resignations and migration. We will also discuss how family members and other stakeholders can utilize SEL, social emotional learning, and restorative practices principles to support both students and school staff for improvement. The challenge. The challenge is growing class sizes. As we embark on this episode, it's important to acknowledge the reality of education in recent years. Class sizes have steadily increased, often surpassing the recommended student teacher ratio. This alarming trend is primarily driven by factors such as demographic shifts, budget constraints, and perhaps a shortage of qualified educators. The consequences are significant and many. The consequences are affecting both students and educators. None escape the consequences of this challenge, the growing class size. What are some of the challenges? The behavioral challenges, the teaching challenges, the learning challenges. On the behavioral front, uh, individualized attention is impacted. Larger class sizes mean less individualized attention for students, and this can lead to a disengagement. It leads to behavioral issues and a lack of personalized support for struggling learners. It results also in disrupted classroom dynamics. The crowded classrooms can disrupt the natural flow of teaching and learning, making it challenging to maintain an optimal learning environment for all students. The challenge is on the teacher side: time constraints. Teachers face time constraints when dealing with larger classes. They must cover the curriculum, they must manage behavior, and they must provide support, all within limited time frames. Then there is that ever present increased stress. The added workload and pressure can result in teacher burnout. Yes, the added workload and pressure can lead to teacher burnout, leading to increased resignations and migrations. We have seen both. Their learning challenges. With diverse learning needs within larger classes, it becomes harder to address each student's unique strengths and weaknesses. Students in larger classes may struggle to engage actively in discussions and in activities, impacting their overall learning experience. Quite a mouthful to contemplate, but it is true. It is these are just some of the issues that we face as we seek to embrace social emotional learning and restorative practices to navigate classroom challenges, a path to empowerment and restoration. I don't know if I mentioned, but the title for today's episode is Embracing SEL and RP, which is Embracing Social Emotional Learning and Restorative Practices to Navigate Classroom Challenges, a path to empowerment and restoration. So let us see how we address these challenges. To address these challenges, it is crucial to integrate SEL and RP principles into the education and practices. Let's look at SEL. Let us equip students with the emotional intelligence and the interpersonal skills necessary to navigate complex social situations. That's what SEL does. It fosters self awareness, self regulation, empathy, and responsible decision making. Now, by incorporating SEL into the curriculum, educators can create a more inclusive and supportive classroom environment. Teaching emotional resilience can help students cope with the stressors related to a larger class size and hence maintain focus on their learning. Fine, I get it. Social emotional learning is relevant, but where is the space for restorative practices, you might be asking? No, restorative practices, RP, it emphasizes conflict resolution. It encourages communication and it is about building healthy relationships within the school community. By implementing RP strategies, educators can address behavioral issues proactively and facilitate meaningful conversations to repair harm caused by conflicts. They can also use restorative practices to involve family and other stakeholders in the process. Now, how do you support your students and your school staff in the midst of this dilemma? Family members and other stakeholders play a pivotal, critical, important, essential role in overcoming the challenges posed by larger classrooms. So, how you might ask? Parent engagement, community involvement, advocacy. Now, parents can engage with their child's education by attending parent teachers meetings, by volunteering, participating in school activities. These open lines of communication with teachers are essential to understand a child's progress and addressing any challenge your child might be facing. Community involvement. No, communities can provide additional resources and support to schools, and this could include mentorship programs, after school activities, and resources for students with specific learning needs, such as dyslexia. Advocacy, but I'm not an advocate. Families and community members can advocate for smaller class sizes and increased support for their schools. Now, by raising the awareness of the challenges educators and students face, they can push for policy changes that benefit the entire educational community. We've said a lot. We've said a lot about embracing SEL and RP to navigate classroom challenges, a path to empowerment and restoration. Yes, a reminder that that is the title of our episode. In this episode, we've looked at the challenges posed by growing class size and teacher shortage. We've emphasized the importance of integrating SEL and RP principles in our educational practices. Um, by nurturing emotional intelligence, by fostering strong relationships, involving families and communities. Through that, we can empower our schools to navigate challenges successfully. And I truly believe that. I believe also that in our next episode, we should focus on the critical issues of learning disorders. And there'll be many episodes to address the various learning disorders, such as dyslexia, and the importance of teacher awareness and support. So, join us as we continue our journey towards creating, nurturing, empathetic, and restorative learning communities. Thank you for tuning in to Embrace and Restore. Together, we can embrace these challenges and restore the promise of quality education for all. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to sharing with you again next Thursday. Thank you.